Good morning, everyone. It is 8 a.m., 34 degrees in the garage. This is Meso Cycle 1, Week 3, workout number 2. That means we got back and biceps on the menu. Because it is Week 3, we're still taking everything to 2 reps in reserve, but we're going to try to either add weight or add reps from the prior week. If you haven't been, I highly encourage you to follow along. I'll put all the workouts in the descriptions. You can check those out. And I'll show you how to start and finish a meso cycle, beginning with week 1, day 1, 3 reps in reserve in all movements, eventually going to week 5, where you'll hit 0 reps in reserve, aka failure, and beyond. Really show you how to overreach, and then eventually deloading in the 6th week. So feel free to go back and watch some of those older videos. I'll walk you through it. I'll hold your hand from week 1, day 1, all the way to week 6, day 6. A solid training block. But anyways, we got bent over rows, chin ups, incline curls, and face pulls on the menu today. So we're gonna go ahead and get warmed up because it is cool in here. We gotta warm up pretty good today and get into this thing. Let's go. All right, we're warmed up. Going on to our first set. We got 115 pounds, shooting for 14 with 2 reps in reserve. Let's see if we can get it.
Speaking of Super Saiyans, I remember when Scott Herman first deadlifted 500 pounds around 10 years ago. The entire fitness community was freaking out. That video got over 1 million views, which was a lot, and even more impressive than that. Even guys at my gym were talking about it, screaming, "Did you see Scott's deadlift?" I swear to God. And some of his videos,
15.
which are still up on YouTube, like 4 5 reps.
Not bad. Felt pretty good. Let's see if we can match that or beat it on the next set. All right, adding a set. It's about time we bumped up the volume for rows a little bit. So we're gonna add a set today. See if we can match that 13. I'm gonna try and make this set a little bit cleaner than that last one. All right, had to start using my body to get it up, so we'll call it at that. Got 11 clean, but I added that 12th one in just for a little bit extra. We're gonna rest up a second and then move on to chin-ups. All right, we're moving on to some chin-ups next. Target is 10 on the first set with 2 reps in reserve. See how it feels. Lost track on that one, but I think we got around 10. I'll have to watch the tape back and check, but felt pretty good. Let's try to do it again. All right, I had to take a little bit of a longer break than I like to between sets. My guys showed up to pick up the truck to go to work, so I had to see them off But we got 10 on the first set, and the target for the next one is 9. But I took such a long rest between that it wouldn't shock me if I can get 10 again, possibly even more. Sometimes the second set's better than the first, but see what's up. All right, solid 11 there. Wearing a little bit more clothes than usual as well. I feel like even if I was to just hit my target reps for this workout, it would be a pretty big improvement. We got 10, so we matched on the first one. Then we got another 10, so we beat it on the second one. And pretty sure I'm wearing a few extra pounds of clothes. Not too big of a difference, but it is a difference. So call that a win. And I think it's about time I added a third set to this exercise as well. So we're gonna go ahead and add a third set of chin-ups. All right, adding a third set. Go for another 10. All right. Well, if you aim for the moon and you fall short, you'll still land among the stars. Quote someone who doesn't know shit about space. But yeah, it was worth it to shoot for 10. We got 7. I don't know why I just completely changed the move on the last set, but I started arching my back more. That's something that I meant to do on the first couple sets, and I just kind of forgot this week. I'm trying to arch my back in order to just, instead of doing like a hollow body where it really targets my lats, when I arch my back, I feel like it gets a little bit more of the upper lats, upper middle back. So, been meaning to do that and just keep forgetting, but did it a little bit on that last set and it made it way harder. So, yeah, a little bit of extra volume this week. That's it for the back movements today. Next, we're gonna move on to incline curls. Let's go. Incline curls. Sticking with 30 pounds. Gonna go for 3 sets of 14 today. This is the first one. See how this feels. Seven. Six. 5. Is that 2 reps in reserve? I think that was. We got 15. So made an improvement on the first set. We'll see if we can match our targets on the second and third. But if we improve, we improve. Even if it's just 1 rep per exercise per week, that's progressive overload. All right, we're gonna take a second. get into the second set. All right, I got a crazy ass bicep pump off just one set. In hindsight, choosing chin-ups over an overhand variation of pull-ups might have been a little too much on the biceps. I didn't want to lose bicep size as I was prioritizing back during this meso, so I chose chin-ups instead of like an overhand grip. I almost feel like I'm not getting the back activation I want, and I'm getting a lot of bicep activation. Not the end of the world, just worth taking into consideration. I'll probably finish out this meso cycle using the same move, but maybe next one after that I might have to switch something up. But set number 2, we're going for 14 with 2 reps in reserve, and I already got a pretty nasty pump, so see how it goes.
So for those of you who don't know, Tom and Bert's watch stories and all their discussions about their cars triggered a backlash from some of their fans, which I covered in quite a lot of detail.
7.
And the fact that it made its way on Bert's radar to the point where they
6.
addressed it on their podcast and tried to lean into it by punching down on it, it just goes to show how sensitive they are to the public perception of the fan. And when you consider Bert's he leaves us with no doubt as to exactly
We're on the border between 2 reps in reserve and 1 rep in reserve at this point. Next week will probably be the week that we just shoot just for the targets and don't try to go like above and beyond. That's next week. And this is this week. So, gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, rest up. Get the third set. Last set, going for another 14.
he's showing up to a podcast and writing college material in his spare time. That's right, Bert's idea of it is simply to come. And that's the problem. These guys don't prepare for their podcasts, they just show up. It's no secret that things are dying. Do you remember over the last 3 years, especially during the pandemic, their podcasts were getting every episode because people just couldn't get enough. Then slowly people realized they didn't have as much spare time. And it's because they didn't reinvent themselves. They didn't invest in their content. They didn't made us sit through endless ad reads. That's
It's crazy. Alright, we're doing some face pulls. Next, face pulls. And we're bumping up the weight to 72.5 pounds. After originally starting with like 30 pounds on this move, for sets of like 25 to 30, we're all the way up to 72.5 pounds about 12 weeks later. Going for 13 with 2 reps in reserve on the first set. So really glad I don't have to do 100 face pulls a week anymore. We'll see how it goes.
And you're kind of like, and you're not thinking, you're just not watching the clock. You're not watching that, the thing that they give you, the flight map. When you watch the flight make you very slow progress. And your final destination is, when you start getting rocked around in the sky, you don't look at the flight map. And then you're like, oh, we made some time. We need to tell you this is actually. A lot of people are negative, a lot of people are upset, a lot of people are rightfully concerned about their own safety, the safety of others, the safety of their family. Can we zoom out?
Alright.
The thought out for a minute. Look at this in the macro.
13.
Need it. We
Could I have done 20?
need destroyers in the sea.
You know, sometimes you do a set and then you gotta be honest with yourself and say, if they were gonna give me $1 million to do 20 with the same strict form all the way from rep 1 to rep 20, and then you called it at 13 and they said, oh, on your next set, if you could do 20, we'll give you $1 million. And you could really trick yourself into believing that someone would actually give you $1 million to do 20, and you get 20. It means that wasn't 2 reps in reserve. It means you're full of shit. I feel like I might have half-assed that set a little bit. I'm not 100% sure, but on the next set, I'm going to tell myself if I can get 20, and with each rep, like this, someone's going to give me $1 million. And if I can, I'll call it at 18, because that'll actually be 2 reps in reserve. We'll see. Set number 2, target's 13, but it's really 18. But we're going for 13. What did we learn? We learned that I didn't even get close to 2 reps in reserve on the first set. We also learned that, what else did we learn? Well, I guess we really just learned that I didn't go to 2 reps in reserve on the first set. But let this be a lesson to you all. If you could dig deep and you want to find out where 2 reps in reserve is, if you could go to a place where you could trick yourself into saying, oh, you're at 0 reps in reserve right now, I'll tell you what. How about for every single rep you get after you say you got to 0 reps in reserve, I'll give you $10,000. I'll give you $10,000 for every single, after you say you got to 0 reps in reserve, you hit failure. But for every rep after that, I'll give you 10 grand. Well, if you can even get 1 more rep, you weren't at 0 reps in reserve. I'll tell you what, I bet you a lot of us would be cranking out 10, 20 more reps, you know, for 10 grand a rep after you say you got to 0 RIR. Don't sell yourself short. Learn how to go to a place where you dig deep so you can really figure out, have you been getting close to 3 reps in reserve? 2, 1? Are you really hitting failure? I guarantee you, a lot of people aren't. I am. Alright, so what happened was, I can explain. Hear me out. What happened is because this move I was doing much higher reps, and then I've been increasing the weight. Sometimes you increase the weight by 5 pounds on one of these moves that are really light, and the calculator says, oh, you're doing 65 pounds for 18 or 20, and you're bumping up to 72 and a half, target's 13. So on that first set, I saw target 13. I think I psychologically just prepared myself to do only 13. As you saw in the second set, I realized I could probably do closer to 20 before. So I got 18. Keep it at 2 reps in reserve. Now on this third set, because I dug a little deep for that last one, we're just gonna try and get like 18 again. But if we get a couple less, it's not bad. I also adjusted my feet in a slightly different way. That could have actually made a pretty big difference now that I think about it. Because I'm really locked in right now. Alright, let's get that ass.
There was this really sad story that a kid in Maryland, we're not going to get it up, put it in post. Just trust me, it's a lie, folks. I'm not making things up here. I don't have to, every minute I don't have to go to the article. It was a kid, he was like 22 or whatever, he was just climbing his military. The way I do it in New York and Texas, I travel around the world. And that is after this thing happened, he goes to Israel and he's killed immediately by a Hezbollah rocket. And it's tragic, and he's a hero. Because he believed in this thing, and he was a fucking soldier, and I respect the hell out of somebody. In Israel, you have to, that's the thing. Everybody does, I believe, a mandatory 5 years of military service in Israel, and then I believe you can kind of go into the reserves.
I lost track. I think that was 16. I'm happy with it though. Added weight, got a decent amount of reps. Upper back and rear delts on fire right now. Gotta check this pump out real quick, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this whole thing up. Let's see what's up. The goal for the next bulk is to completely fill out that extra large loose fit Carhartt shirt. Well, we're still in maintenance for a while, so. Not bad. Yeah, the lat spread is coming along. And really, the lat spread's not going to be complete until I really cut. I'm not lean at all right now. I'm just at a normal, healthy weight, even though I lost 26 pounds over the course of 3 months. But this lat spread is going to be freaky. Once I lose that little bit of fat right there. I have large hips. Can't, shave bone down, so the only thing we can do is try to, get wider up here and, lose that little bit of extra fat right there, and then that'll really bring in my V-taper. Pump check. No, I'm wrong. Why? What's up?
Chuck Taylor wants an estimate on what he's done doing with this.
No, not yet. I'll check it out
I
soon.
have it here, so yeah, we're just checking in on it.
All right.
Not people. It's not in my breath. Seroquel. There'd be massive pharmaceutical operations to just get the people out of the tent every morning. They have no
All right, that's a wrap on today's workout. Back, biceps, rear delts in the books. Everything's clicking. Everything's feeling good right now. Week 3 is off to a hot start, even though it's been pretty cold actually in the garage. Throwing off my training just a bit because it's kind of hard to gauge the intensity. It's almost as if I'm doing my workout in a cryo chamber. It feels like I'm recovering as the workout is actually taking place. So it's making it kind of hard for me to, gauge how I feel. I feel like I'm not getting as sore. I don't know if there's anything to that or that's just some pseudoscience bullshit I'm making up in my own mind. But I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine's. Anyways, one thing that doesn't have anything to do with feelings is the numbers. And the numbers don't lie. And the numbers went up again. We added sets, we added reps, we added weight, we added a little bit of everything. So those are all going up. We're on track. Week 3, great start so far. We got legs tomorrow. See if we keep the ball rolling for that. If you're following along, I'll leave all the workouts in the description. Go ahead, watch some of those older videos and grab the workout out of the description if you want. I'll pretty much walk you through a whole meso, like I said. So go ahead and check that out. And if it helps, go ahead, leave me a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. We're hitting legs, baby.